Hello, my name's Helena Taylor, and I am the voice of Bayonetta, and I would like to explain to you why I didn't voice Bayonetta 3. The Bayonetta franchise made an approximated $450 million. That's not including merchandise. As an actor, I trained for a total of 7.5 years. 3 years at the London Academy of Music and Dramatic Art, LAMDA, with voice coach Barbara Barkery, and 4.5 years with the legendary Larry Moss in Los Angeles. And what did they think this was worth? What did they offer to pay me? The final offer to do the whole game as a buyout, a flat rate, was $4,000 US. This is an insult to me, the amount of time that I took to work on my talent and everything that I have given to this game and to the fans. I am asking the fans to boycott this game and instead spend the money that you would have spent on this game donating it to charity. I didn't want the world. I didn't ask for too much. I was just asking for a decent, dignified living wage. What they did was legal, but it was immoral.
It really is a crazy world that we are living in. You know, a world where gas prices are becoming more expensive, video games are being locked at 30 frames per second for next gen, and voice actors and voice actresses are not getting paid a appropriate wage for their hard work. Now, you probably heard the news already, and from the video that I just played, the original voice actress for Bayonetta is not the voice for Bayonetta 3. And Helena Taylor did make that video to explain very briefly what happened, and it's very insulting. I understand where she's coming from, honestly, because she herself says she had about 7.5 years of training. Okay, that's not experience only, that's training. And then you add on the number of years and however much time she had, worked for Bayonetta 1 and Bayonetta 2. That could be another 5+ years under her belt for that acting experience. So you're looking at about like 12 to 15 years experience roughly, right? Give or take. You gotta keep in mind Bayonetta 1 came out so many years ago, got ported to the Wii U, then the Switch, and then remastered on PS4 or whatever. So she has a lot of experience, and they were only going to pay her $4,000 to do the voice of Bayonetta 3 for the whole game. And I don't know how long the game is. I do know the previous games are kind of lengthy, especially if you suck. So you can get at least 15 hours or so out of it. Plus, replaying with the harder difficulties, the different unlocks you can get. Video game development is not a slow process, okay? And even when you do voice acting, that's also a huge process as well. I don't know if she was doing just voice acting or if it was a mix of voice acting and mocap acting, but even with just voice acting, that takes a lot of work and a lot of time. And I do think the $4,000 payout was very insulting. If you think about it this way, $4,000 is, I think on average, almost equivalent to about 2 months of salary for a entry-level position, give or take, right? Sometimes higher, sometimes lower. Where you get other voice actors for other games who's making hundreds of thousands of dollars or more even. And even here herself, she said that the franchise on games alone was, $450 million in total revenue? And then whatever merchandise they have, I don't really know how much Bayonetta merchandise exists. I have the movie they made, the Blu-ray movie. I only watched it once, but hey, I paid for it, so that contributes to the merchandise money. But who is behind this decision? Was it someone higher up in Platinum Games? Was it Hideki, the game director of the game, who I made a video about him previously because I learned some things about him being a piece of shit, and some people did agree, some people disagreed, whatever. Maybe it was him, maybe it was Nintendo, probably not Nintendo, who knows? I have no idea. I don't think she is going to say who's behind it. I don't think she's legally allowed to say who's behind it. There's a lot of different, you know, papers involved. Give you a quick example. I've once had to do an NDA for somewhere. I'm not gonna say where or, who it was. It was an NDA, and I signed it. So that's all I can say about that. So there are those legal agreements. So I'm sure she cannot say publicly who's behind it and whose decision it was. But it was her decision to back out, and I respect her for that in the sense that if you're not going to appreciate your employee for their experience and their talent, and you're going to pay them the proper wage, why should they put the work in for your product? Now, she is also, as you saw in the video, calling for a boycott for Bayonetta 3. I'm not buying it at launch, not because of this as a main reason. I just don't have the money to buy it at launch, honestly. I might be able to make it work as well, but I still have a God of War pre-order that I'm paying off, and I gotta pay my Scarlet and Violet pre-order as well because I pre-ordered both games, so I have to pay for that. And I don't know if this game is going to see the boycott that she is requesting. I do know that or I have a feeling rather, that there's a lot of people out there who won't really care about this politics, if you want to call it that. They just want to go play the game, buy the game, whatever. Because, for me, and I said this before, Bayonetta is kind of like second to me with Devil May Cry. Like, for me, it's Devil May Cry, then Bayonetta. I've had made some comparisons between Bayonetta franchise and Devil May Cry. A buddy of mine said that might be a bit of a stretch, but it's really not. So, me personally, I'm not gonna buy it at launch because I can't afford to buy it at launch. But even now, so after this, I don't know how much this really changes things in terms of if you're someone who wants to boycott the game because she was asking you, then by all means, that's great if you want to do that for her. But I personally think it's really shitty that they took that away from her and they made her a really low ball offer. And I don't understand where these numbers come from. You have millions of dollars, and I don't know how much they're spending on development of the game, but it's going to sell very well because of how many years the fans have been waiting and how much hype this game has been given with all the, back when it was first announced, there was no information announced and everyone kept waiting and waiting. And that's when Hideki was being such a cock and he was just acting stupid about it. And then we got some gameplay, and the gameplay looked great. You have the kaiju battles now, and you can summon other demons to help you out, and another playable character in the game that was very similar to Nero in some ways. So, I am on her side in the sense of she really should have gotten a respectful amount of compensation for her role, for her job here, especially because she said herself, she has done the last two games, probably did the movie as well, the Blu-ray movie, I forgot what it's called. And I think she was saying that the new voice actress shouldn't be calling herself Bayonetta, like, oh, I am Bayonetta, because this woman has the experience and the time under her belt. So, let me know what you think about this thing, guys, because it's really crappy. She got lowballed, and it sucks that they took that away from her. There really isn't much to go on aside from that. Not much to say going forward. I know a lot of people probably won't boycott it because they want the game. They've been waiting for the game. They want to play it. But if you do decide to boycott it, I don't know how much of an impact it's going to have on the game because, like I said, there's a lot of factors involved and everything. So I think at that point it's more of a choice if you decide, hey, I'm not going to buy the game because of how shitty it's been. The behind the scenes has been shitty. Or if you say, hey, I don't care about all that. I just want to play the game. Of course, that's fine if you don't care about it. That's, your preference in your life. So, like I said, if I do get the game, it'll probably be like down the road. Maybe it'll be a Christmas list type of thing or whatever. Or, when it goes on sale, maybe for Black Friday if it does happen. I don't know. But you can't blame anything about like, oh well, they don't have enough money, or it's a weaker console, so they won't make as much money. That's not the case here. It's really not. It's greed. It's being greedy. It's treating someone like shit. I think someone mentioned, it might have been her or someone else within the Twitter feed or whatever. I think someone mentioned it's not necessarily the same situation as Activision Blizzard. So that's a good thing. It's nothing harassment type of thing, but it's still kind of like wallet harassment. You know, like, hey, we're not gonna pay you for your work. Cause think about what I said earlier in the beginning. It's like a 2 month salary for that kind of money, which she's making, right? Roughly 2 months. No way in hell she only spent 2 months, or she would have only spent 2 months working on the game. No way in hell. I know in some cases that has happened, like Keanu Reeves doing Johnny Silverhand. I think he only worked for about a week or so, maybe 2 weeks, I think. And I'm sure as shit that he has gotten paid a hell of a lot more for that role. Now, I'm not trying to say she's on the same level as Keanu Reeves. I think there's two different components here. She's a experienced voice actress. He is an experienced actor. So there is that difference. But I also like to say, with to keep it fair across the board, it's compensation based on the work and the time for these types of jobs, right? You're not going to tell somebody, hey, I'm going to put you in the next Superman or Batman movie as like a main character, or probably the main character. You're not going to pay someone to be Batman and pay him a couple $1,000s. You know, you're not going to do that. You're not going to go to, the voice actors for like the next Grand Theft Auto, or I can't remember the guy who voices Kratos in God of War, Christopher Judge. They're going to go to Chris Judge and say, hey, you are Kratos, the God of War, the badass motherfucking Spartan, and we're going to pay you a couple $1,000 for years of experience. No. So I don't know what they're paying the new voice actress, and if she took the $4,000, that's probably her first real paid gig. Maybe she wanted to take it, whatever. If not, then if they paid her more for the role, then they were gonna pay. Hell no, that's fucked up, straight up. And I know people love Platinum Games. They don't make a lot of games that's like amazing in my opinion. Astral Chain was fun. I had a friend who loved Astral Chain. I didn't love it, but I liked it. It got better towards the second half of the game. More cool shit, a lot of crazy shit. But other than that, and other than Bayonetta 1 and 2, what else did they make? What's that one game? The 101 or whatever it's called? Mighty One. I can't remember what it's called. The game with all the little fucking people, and that shit was stupid. I didn't like it. It wasn't for me. So if you liked it, fine. But like I said, I don't think Platinum Games has that reputation to say, hey, we can fuck you over and pay you $4,000. No. Even if you have the reputation, no, it's not. But that's pretty much it for today. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know what you think about this in the comments, and I will definitely see you guys on the next one. Peace.